Hey everyone, I am live today with Bomba Dance Co. Waiting for her to come into the room and waiting for some more of you to get here. But we're going to be talking about La Música Bomba de Puerto Rico, and it's going to be very juicy. So I hope you stick around and get your questions together because she has a wealth of knowledge, and I want you guys to be able to take advantage of that. Let me see, is she online yet? I just invited her, so we'll see. Hey, Mom.
Oopsie.
Hey, girl.
Oh, hello. It's been a minute.
I know, almost a year.
Yes. How are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Todo bien por acá. Chilling and, gearing up for release day on Friday. So I'm like excited, nervous, overwhelmed, all the things. Hi, Flor. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just gearing up for Saturday for our classes. We start finally our spring in the Bronx and in Bronx. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Fun.
So cool. So I'm excited for your album. I really am. And I already heard some of the track that you and I were talking about. And it's so beautiful. I already have something special for those who come in on Saturday.
What? Oh no! I wish I was in New York now.
Oh,
I
where are you?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Miami.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, I came out
Yes,
here.
Marty.
Huh?
She says, I will be there for class. Flor
Oh, cool.
Floriz. I
Are
hope I
you
say that
gonna,
right.
are you gonna do a portion of the class live, or is this exclusively for the people that show up?
Well, if I have the extra hand, I'll do a little live, for sure. But I'm old school. I'm old school. It's
Feel that?
like for the people, sometimes people get nervous when there's cameras around and
That too.
you're learning something. Sometimes, for many people, it's new and learning Bomba is new. It's vulnerable because it's your body and you're using your body. So having like the camera right there can stress some people out. So, we just record for documentation purposes, but not the whole class. So, but
Yeah.
yes, I've been getting requests. There's something up in the works. So for
Yeah.
my people who are far away and can make it to El Bronx.
Well, let me tell you, I tried to take a bomba class online, pero de canto, like singing,
Hmm.
and I had so much fun. But like you said, it is a very vulnerable experience, and you're like stepping forward and like pouring your soul out there, and having the camera on you, it could be intense if it's something that you're not used to. So
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But no, but we 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 are going to be doing some remote stuff, some remote classes and things like that for people. It's having the staff to do it.
yeah, yeah. So let's jump right into it because I have
Yes,
questions I want to ask you.
sure.
Um, and, I'm sure people will tune in and they may have some things they want to ask you as well. But
Absolutely.
today we are here to talk about all things Bomba. And I want to give you a moment to introduce yourself to people that are tuning in, and then we'll jump into some questions.
Definitely. My name is Milteri Tucker Concepcion. I am the founder and executive director of Bombazo Dance Company, a not-for-profit dance company that focuses primarily on Afro-Puerto Rican bomba, its education, research, performance, conserving it here in the Bronx, and and creating new work with the research that I do. through Bomba, right? And so besides doing the traditional, we also fuse with other forms of styles of dance. That has been my artistic, I guess, way of doing things, right, as an artist. And I really love it. I love creating. And so, yeah, here we are. I'm so happy and so honored that you invited me for this Q&A.
Oh, absolutely. It couldn't be anyone else. But speaking of fusion, I recently went on my own journey with Bomba as I was writing for my album. And there were some feelings, some emotions within me that I hadn't reconciled yet with my identity and where I come from and my cultural roots. And so I was thinking about what would be the best way to express some of these things that I'm feeling. And I gravitated to the Yubá, right? And
Mm,
then in doing that, I uncovered that there are like many different styles of bomba. And so I
yes,
wanted to throw the question to you to kind of, give us an overview of what is bomba and what are some of the different styles. And if there's one that you prefer, which one do you prefer?
definitely. Well, Bomba's a genre, right? It is drum, dance, and song that dates back to the 17th century, practiced and maintained by the enslaved and free people of color. So this is the way our people, our ancestors, under the heavy conditions that they were in, right, that enslaved, whether they were working on the field or in the house, this is where their relief moment, right? This is where they would come to get, they were given the permission because remember, in Puerto Rico specifically, if you were a person of color, you couldn't do certain things. There were so many things that, so many rules, right? And you Google it, reglamento de esclavo, okay? and and so when they asked for permission to gather on a Sunday, it just became a way of release, a way of knowing what was going on in the other hacienda, what's going on with you, but also a way to kind of plot the resistance, right? And besides being together in community, it was a healing process for them as well, right? And that has been carried on through generations and generations till today. I mean, Bomba really was at one point in time extinct because, it wasn't like now, right? That everybody at every corner, or now you go to Puerto Rico every day, every chinchorreo, there's some group doing Bomba, which is fantastic. But, when I was growing up in Puerto Rico, I was born and raised in the island, you had to know somebody who was doing this, or you had to go to a fiesta patronal, or you knew a family member that, that knew somebody that they knew, oh, when that particular family was going to have un toque, right? And this comes because there were a lot of also um, elements where the society was prohibiting toques de bomba también in different towns of Puerto Rico. So now, now you have all the coastal towns and also towns in the center of the island. You have people that practice, families that practice this and continue it. And we have different rhythms, right? And each rhythm differentiate depending on where regionality are you in, right? It may be called Sika in one town, but it may be called something else in the other town. So there's about 40 rhythms, but there are 5 main rhythms, and these 5 main rhythms are the ones that if you actually master, then you are able to actually then understand the custom rhythms from it. So these are Sika, Yubá, Guembe, Holandés, and Se Corrido. And so some of the towns have a little bit more. For example, if we go to Loíza, you have el Roulé, Colbé, and a Se Corrido, right? We also have a Sika, but the custom of Sika is Gracima. So, the differences between those is the tempo, the speed in which they're, and the way that it is played on the drum. Also the way that it's danced, that not all the rhythms are danced the same way. So that's why it's very important to go and visit us when you're in your journey. And this is one of the responsibilities as a cultural bearer, that you have to understand these different ways of these region in the different regions and how they are played, how they are danced. Not everything is danced the same way. It's not like we can Google something and that's just bomba. No, there are different, like you say, there are different ways of dancing. There are different emotions too, to them, right? The way that the drum calls that emotion in the person, and then each person is going to express their feelings in a different way. So there are a lot of things, but it's very, it's ancestral, definitely cultural, but it calls you. Most importantly, like it calls you. It's like like the heartbeat. Like when you hear the drum, like okay, your heart wants to
Sometimes
like
I
race to
cry,
it.
I get emotional, and I'm like, "Oye, why am I crying?"
Pero it's one of my favorite ones. I enjoy the Yubá. There's something, the Yubá is very it's heavy, it's weighted, it carries a lament, the way that even some of those older songs are. Um, and it's just it's in a way it's difficult to dance because it's not fast paced. You have to take your time and expression with the drum, right?
Yes.
How the drum is going to follow you. The dancer, that's another thing. This is one of the things that we cover in our workshops, and that our drummer, specifically BDT, is always stressing. It's the dancers, the musicality. It's not tirando piquete. It's not moving the skirt, blah 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 blah. It's listening to that rhythm and being one with that rhythm. So I love the Yuba because it challenges me in that way. And I'm from the South. From the South se caracteriza, we have the Wembe, right? And Wembe is very como sandunga, coqueteo. I don't know. It's not fast paced. It's not slow paced. It's just like in the right where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's those are the two of my favorite rhythms to dance.
Wow. You talked about responsibility earlier, and so I do want to ask you, like, how do you carry that responsibility of keeping our tradition alive and making sure that those of the diaspora can continue to connect with practices like bomba and stay rooted in their culture?
Bueno, being now living in a diaspora for I think half my life now, because I get to study here. Um, it's very important. It's a lot of responsibility because for many people, I'm the first one that they're learning bomba from.
Mm.
So coming also from a dance background perspective, right, with all the different styles of techniques and those that are very difficult, it doesn't matter what genre it is, but that first teacher is crucial and very fundamental because it's laying the foundation. And if that foundation is not laid right, then
There's a
it gets a little
disconnect.
bit discombobulated, right? Later on. And it's like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. So it takes time to learn Bomba. And the person who's teaching it has to understand that, right? We have to meet our students where they're at. And so it's very important to have that strong foundation, because once you have that foundation, you can go to anybody, right? And you can do the same maybe 4 or 5 steps that but you have that, you start building that confidence in that vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, so because I have a lot of people that come to our doors and they experience Bomba for the first time, I take that as that's uh, honor, very honored first to trust me to be their maestra and to guide them and to be their first mentor, because once that foundation is set, the sky's the limit. And so, Bomba can be intimidating when you go to, especially if you go back home to Puerto Rico, and you have like
Right.
20 drums, and you're amongst people who know it, and you're like, ay, yo no quiero ser ridículo aquí or something. And, it can be intimidating. Even myself, that I dance all the time, me tiro, it can be intimidating, but it's about breaking that barrier. Just like, you got this. It's, yes, you're dancing what you're feeling, but now we have had families, right? We have to pay honor to the people who came before us, who laid that foundation, who established schools within their own families and said, this is how we dance the siga, and this is how your body's supposed to go, and this is how you move the skirt, and this is how your hands are played, and don't play that rhythm too fast. You know, they've laid that foundation. So we have to be respectful of those people who came before us, right? The elders, you know, maestros in the island, and some of them, a lot of them who are also here in the diaspora, and you know, be able to build upon that. You know, we can't dismiss that information. It's not just going in and dancing, porque moviendo falda, porque whatever. It's not about the flashiness of it. It's about, you know, really carrying this tradition, because once you have the information, guess what? In your family, you're going to become that maestra too, right? In your school system, in your community. So that's why it's very important to see, you know, where you're going, you know, how do you associate, and how serious is your teacher, right, in passing on this tradition. So I always I feel very honored when people come to my classes, when I honor the tradition also. I make the skirts. I have the brand of skirts, right? Bombaso wear. It's the first brand of Bomba skirts. I coined that. And they're made by these hands and my mom's hands too. A lot of research went into that as well. And so, you know, that's one part of it. Another part of it is being able to teach this to the younger generation, because that was the missed opportunity in Bomba for a while in Puerto Rico, that the elders were not, some of the elders, not everybody, were not passing this on to the next generation for various reasons. And so I then wrote the first Bomba children's book, right? Bomba Puertorriqueña.
Oh, I love that.
And illustrated by another amazing Puertorriqueña from el barrio, Mia Roman. We teamed up together. And this book has inspired other people in the culture to write other children's books. And so again, we have to actually create it ourselves. And I remember going to various places in Puerto Rico, and I found a lot of books in children's book about Taínos and the Gigantes, but nothing about our African culture. So I said, you know what? I'm going to write it. And I'm always selling out. So it's on her website. I need to
connect you with my sister. She's actually in publishing. She works for Coquila Books, which they're a diversity imprint under Penguin Publishing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always looking for stories from people of color to put out there. And I don't know, maybe there'll be some synergy there when you two connect. I have talked to her about you already, and I hope she comes in on the live at some point. But you two should get together. I think something could be brewing there.
Yes, absolutely.
You talked about elders, and I wanted to dig into that because there was a break in like the tradition of Bomba being passed down from generation to generation, and now you're kind of seeing a resurgence of Bomba again. So as you are in community with your elders, what do they say about the future of Bomba? Where do they think it's heading now that so many people are on this journey where they want to go back to their roots? What are they saying is up next?
Well, there's different opinions, but I think what they're seeing, that this new resurgence of interest, that is, they're loving it. You know, they are embracing it. This new wave of students and people who are interested in something that at one point was deemed, you know, maybe not of interest of so many people, because the different stigmas also that were placed upon it. So in my opinion, they love it. They support a lot. I mean, I've received nothing but love from the elders. And when I talk about the elders, we're talking about some of the famed families, right? Los Cepedas. I've had their blessing, right, and support. The Hayalas as well. The Albizu as well, and Vargas. You know, even in my own family, I came into this information not too long ago, and one of the Cepedas that we now know, Jesus Cepedas, one of the elders, knew my grandfather. And when I showed him a picture, he said, "Oh, this is what I like to talk about. Yeah, about rhythms, but this is what I like. I remember your grandfather." And according to him, my grandfather was a great bombero too. He was a bomba player. I mean, I didn't meet my grandfather because he died like 2 months before I was born, the same year that I was born. But esto ya está en la sangre. So it was just calling out, right? And it was so beautiful that he was able to point out my grandfather in the pictures in the house de los Cepedas in Santurce. I should say Cangrejos, in Cangrejos, San Mateo de Cangrejos. And that he remembered him fondly, and he said one of his words was like, "Your grandfather was an amazing musician and a maestro of maestro." And I'm like, wow, really? Because everything, he remembered through just certain keys and things that my mom and I were talking about. And everybody, in Puerto Rico is like with a nickname, right? It's just like, forget about your real name. It's like the nickname. And so that was really nice to find that in my family. Mi familia también somos bomberos. So that was very beautiful to find out, and not too long ago. So I say that this is something that my brother and I already had within us, and it was just something to give back to our community, and specifically here.
Yeah. Wow, that's so beautiful. I know you got a lot going on with your Bombasso wear. You said last week that you were like over your head with orders, and I'm so happy that blessings just continue flowing your way. What
Yeah.
else is on the horizon for Bombasso Dance Company?
Well, we have performances coming up. I established this year a chapter in New Jersey. So my people in New Jersey, now there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It's like, I can win at home.
Right.
We established, so I'm giving dance classes here in the community, and I mean the Bronx, but also New Jersey. I have a chapter also in New Orleans as well. So we're building and to continue to create a community and education and laying down the foundation as well. But up very next this Saturday, April 18th, we have our free Bomba class sessions. It's just a small fee for the registration to stay committed. But yes, I have toddler classes at 10 a.m. Followed by the children's class, drumming, and then adult dancing. So adult, teen, and adults, right, all together. So I'm very excited to meet. And everybody was like, when are you having the classes? When? And I just had to wait till I had the right place to have my classes, and now we have it. And so I'm very excited to meet everybody, some returning and some new. So I'm just honored. I can't wait. The little excitement.
I like to see all the photos and the videos from class. Hopefully I can convince my sister to go and take your class, because she's in New Jersey, but she'll go to the Bronx for something like this. I'm gonna tell her, take video for me, show me what's going on, please.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the beauty about Bomba is very generational. It's for everybody. And I'm, as being a Caribbean dancer, and I love learning from different cultures. So even if you're not Puerto Rican, it's okay. You can come and learn as long as you're respectful and you're able to receive the information and understand me. That's how we build connections, a lot of connections also. And so I'm just over the moon that we're having these workshops, and that we're going to go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So anybody who wants to join us in our contingency, remember last year? Well, we didn't tell our audience how we met. We over here waiting.
Oh my God.
And here comes Victor from Dominican Rican Productions. And I'm like, hey, Victor, can we just grab this from the artist? And we introduced briefly. I said, sure, let's do it.
No, but spotting y'all from afar, and I was like, oh my God, I've been wanting to meet this dance group for a long time, and they're here. And then he was like, oh, I know her. We're like mad cool. You want me to talk to her? And I was like, hell yeah, of course.
And
So
that
when
was
he
a very
came back with
beautiful
the
video.
news that like you were available to meet and that the girls were open to being featured in my video, I was just like over the moon and grateful to God because I left my house that day without a plan and with
Hmm.
and I had no access to be in the parade. But when I showed up, I saw that person and this person. They're like, "Oh, come with me! Oh, come with me!" And then everybody was giving me their bands. By the afternoon, I had bands to be in each section. Okay, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this work for me, and I'm gonna meet as many of my people as possible. You know, I'm a fan of my culture. I'm a fan of people that are online pushing our culture forward. So I definitely had my eyes just out in the crowd, you know, trying to meet specific people. And your group was one of those groups, and I'm just like, it was an answered prayer, honestly.
No, no, definitely. It was so beautiful. So thank you for reaching out and including, the dancers, the community, in your beautiful video. I can't, it's always an honor. Gracias.
Yes, of course. And is there anything else you want to remind people tuning in before we end this live? I know you got your class on Saturday. I'm going to put the link to your shop in the comments. So if anyone's interested in Bombasso wear, they know where to go. Am I forgetting anything?
Um, no, I think you're hitting the book. If you're interested in the book, we do book readings as well for the children. They're very interactive with drummers. And the book is bilingual, inglés y español, español inglés. um, and so you can purchase it online, or if you come and visit us on Saturdays, there will be copies there. And yeah, book. And if you know an educator or your son or daughter or somebody in your family knows that their school will benefit from this reading or having this book in their iCards, let us know and just communicate with us. It's getting to be the high season, so if I don't get back very quickly, have patience with me. But yeah, no, we always get back, and we're very grateful and thank you. I don't know if there's a question.
We didn't have any questions come in.
Sure.
Let me double check. And I can't see the fine print, so if somebody
Oh,
has a question in the comments, se fue.
después, sí. Bueno. Well, they can put the questions later on.
Yes, and they can follow you. Everybody, please follow Bombasso Dance Co. She is an amazing, wonderful, open person and happy to answer your questions. And also, don't forget, I got an album coming out this
Yes.
Friday. So make sure
Yes.
you pre-save. I'm already at 450 pre-saves, and I'm
Wow, beautiful.
get it up to 500.
Yes,
So
yes.
please pre-save. Why do I ask? The reason being is when these streaming platforms see a lot of people coming to an artist's profile to listen to their music, it triggers the algorithm in your favor. It's very similar to social media in that way.
Yes.
And so that's why musicians are always saying pre-save, 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 because then when the song comes out, boom, it's like, oh, where did all these people come from?
No, no, definitely. We need your support, um, people out there. So please pre-save the album. I can't wait for the album. I'm one of those who pre-saved as well. So I can't wait to start choreographing to some of your music, and stay tuned for a tutorial, and so you can do it with her music as well coming out.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna
Yes.
be real fun.
Yes, so thank you so much, and God bless you. Continue success, and whatever you need us, we're here. We're here, definitely. Brindando el
Thank you
apoyo.
so much. I had so much fun with you, and we'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.